For me personally, I certainly understand that all good things come to an end. It's been the opportunity and joy of a lifetime to lead Kentucky Kingdom not once, but twice. That said, I'm very excited and pleased to leave the park in the capable hands of Craig Ross, Kentucky Kingdom's new general manager.
A new era has begun for Kentucky Kingdom. The papers were signed on Monday, February 22nd, and the next day, it was announced that this beloved park has been sold to Herschend Family Entertainment, the same company that owns Dollywood, Silver Dollar City, and Wild Adventures, as well as a bunch of other attractions like aquariums and natural sites. Good day, everyone. My name is Parker, and welcome to the first episode of Theme Park Parlay for Season 5 here on Adventures with Parker. Today, we're going to do a deep dive of this acquisition and look at how it's going to affect Kentucky Kingdom and the Herschend chain as a whole. The annexation of Kentucky Kingdom into the Herschend Empire is sure to have some interesting implications. So, without any further ado, let's talk theme parks. Okay, to truly understand the impact of this acquisition, we need to take a look at Kentucky Kingdom's past. The park was conceived as part of a redevelopment and expansion plan for the Kentucky Fair and Exposition Center. The land that the park sits on has always been, and still is, owned by the Fair Board. This means that any decisions that are made about the park need to go through the board. However, the actual management and operation of the park has changed hands a number of times throughout the years. From 1989 to 1997, the park was operated by a group of local investors led by one Mr. Ed Hart. Throughout this time, the park underwent a 13-acre expansion, built a brand new water park, and added some record-breaking attractions like T3, the first Vekoma suspended looping coaster in North America. The following year, in 1998, Kentucky Kingdom was sold to Premier Parks, the company that would eventually become Six Flags, and operated as Six Flags Kentucky Kingdom until 2010. Although a few newer attractions were added during this time, many felt like Six Flags had neglected the park. In 2010, a time when Six Flags was struggling with bankruptcy, Kentucky Kingdom was permanently closed. It appeared that the sun had set on the Kentucky Kingdom dynasty, and the park sat standing but not operating for 4 years. But then, when all hope seemed lost, Ed Hart, the same investor who ran the park years prior, reopened Kentucky Kingdom with an ambitious revitalization plan. The king had returned, and Kentucky Kingdom reopened in 2014 with an all-new coaster called Lightning Run. Since then, the park has experienced a true renaissance with additions like Storm Chaser, Eye of the Storm, and Kentucky Flyer. However, Ed Hart's plan has always been to eventually sell the park to a new owner. And that brings us to the present. Herschend Family Entertainment is a very respectable chain. They're not a large chain by any means, but what they do is done well. I mean, look at Dollywood. It's among the best parks in North America. Honestly, I think selling to Herschend was by far the right decision. So, let's look at what all of this means. First of all, Kentucky Kingdom is going to have the same general identity as it had for these past 8 years. I mean, obviously it's going to continue to grow and evolve and change as all theme parks do. But this progression is probably going to be natural. And we're probably not going to see a sudden radical shift in the Kentucky Kingdom experience. However, as part of the Herschend chain, I think it's possible that we might see an influx in capital come to the park. As an independent park, money for new additions has to come from the revenue that the park generates by itself. And don't get me wrong, Kentucky Kingdom is a successful park. But every new addition that we've seen since 2014 has been, well, relatively inexpensive. That's not to say they weren't good, like they were great additions. But it's not like we're seeing anything from Intamin or B&M here. But now that they're part of a chain, where funds can move around, we might be seeing bigger or more frequent additions. And with some money to spare, new doors have been opened that would allow the park to work with some bigger, more expensive manufacturers. Mind you, Dollywood and Silver Dollar City will most likely continue to be Herschend's priority, but I could definitely see some bigger investments coming to Kentucky Kingdom as well. This park just has so much potential, so it'll be interesting to see what gets added over the next few years. Herschend is also really well known for their seasonal events. Their Christmas events are divine, and there's usually something going on at the parks at any given time throughout the year. I can definitely see some of these events and festivals make their way to Kentucky Kingdom. In fact, I'm pretty sure the chain already has plans to extend the park's operating season, so a Christmas event is basically a given. Now, where things get interesting is Halloween. The park just introduced Hallowscream in 2019, and if it wasn't for COVID, it probably would have returned in 2020 as well. However, Herschend currently doesn't do any of those scare-centric Halloween events like that. Could Hallowscream be discontinued? While that is a possibility to consider, I think they'll keep it around. Actually, I'm kind of wondering if Herschend would consider bringing similar Halloween events to their other parks after seeing it in action at Kentucky Kingdom. Herschend is also known for keeping their parks dry, whereas Kentucky Kingdom is, well, not. So again, could serving alcohol be something that gets discontinued under Herschend? It's hard to tell on this one. The no alcohol thing might be a company philosophy, but on the other hand, the trend among theme parks in general is leaning towards serving alcoholic beverages in the parks. So, Herschend might just keep things the way they are. And if they find that it works well, I think there might be a chance that other Herschend parks might start selling alcoholic beverages too. I want to finish off this video by looking at the big picture. Kentucky Kingdom was an independent park that did well on its own. But now, I think Herschend might be able to take the park to the next level. And Herschend is a good company. Like I said, they own a bunch of different attractions around the US, and Kentucky Kingdom will be their 4th theme park. Now, when we talk about theme parks in North America, we usually talk about Disney, Universal, Cedar Fair, and Six Flags. Maybe SeaWorld as well. Everything else kind of gets lumped together in a great big other category. But with this acquisition, it might start to bring the Herschend chain into the limelight. I mean, Dollywood and Silver Dollar City are both very well-known parks, but a lot of people aren't really aware of the company behind them. I think this could change that. We know Herschend is looking to expand, and Kentucky Kingdom is only the first park of what could be many that they acquire. In a decade or so, the Herschend Empire could rival the likes of Six Flags and Cedar Fair. With Kentucky Kingdom on their side, Herschend Family Entertainment is just getting their empire started. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure today. If you would like to see more theme park discussion videos like this one, as well as vlogs from theme park, travel, local, and outdoor related adventures, consider subscribing. And be sure to hit that little bell icon to be notified about new videos. Also, be sure to stay connected with Adventures with Parker on social media. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at ADVParker. Also, I just created a new Facebook group called The Adventurers Club, which is a safe and positive environment for all fans of theme park and travel to come together and share their memories, discuss fun topics, and catch up on attractions-related news. If you're interested in joining, I'll leave some links down in the description. That's all from me. See you next time, and remember, the adventure is calling.